Hey guys, I'm IzDaisho and I'm here bringing you another M19 Draft, and this time you have my face. Hello. I did some shopping on Prime Day and decided to finally buy a webcam so that I can record my face on these drafts. Alright, let's see. First of all, am I blocking anything? Yes, I am. So let me fix that. And where should my face go? Alright, well I can block the timer. You don't need to see the timer. Sorry about that. Anyway, doing a draft here. The first thing that I want to talk about in this pack is Murder, because it's obviously going to be the best card. It's one of the better cards in the set in general. I mean, there are some bombs that you would take over it, but when it comes to just creatures, removal, combat tricks, I mean, this is one of the best cards in the set. I do think that Gas Spark Twins is a good top end to a curve. I think Rabid Bite is a pretty good removal spell and pretty good common. I'm interested to see how Novice Knight performs. I have been liking auras and at least having some fun with them, and I think that it's actually a pretty viable strategy to use a lot of auras. So that's something that I want to start doing at some point. Out of this pack, I think that the best card is Angel of the Dawn. It's probably going to be what I'm going to take. I think this is the best card. I like Skymarch Bloodletter. Fel Specter's decent. It's sort of doing two different things, where it's a good value creature in that it's like a 1/3 flyer for 4, but it also discards a card for your opponent, but then it just has this 2 life tacked onto it. So I mean, it's a good card. It is just a value card, but I don't think it's anywhere near as good as Angel of the Dawn, even though Angel of the Dawn's at its best in like a red-white deck versus a black-white deck. But I think just taking the best card here is gonna be my best bet. I guess I took a black card first, so I could take Bloodletter. I'm not actually sure which I like better between Bloodletter and Fel Specter, but I'm going to go with just the most powerful card. Who knows if I'll end up in black anyway. This guy took a rare out of their pack, so whatever, they could be in whatever colors. There's really not enough information yet to truly say. This pack is full of good white cards in Knightly Valor, which we've seen tried and true for many years, and then Pegasus Coarser. I'm going to go with Knightly Valor here. It's a little awkward taking 2 5-drops so early in the draft, but I think that I'll probably end up better off with Knightly Valor. Outside of that, Shield Mare I think is a pretty good card. Just the base stats of a 2/3 that gains you 3 life when it enters are not bad. And it has random upside if they try and kill it. It has random upside in that it can't be blocked by red creatures. So I think it's got enough going on, especially with black-white life gain as the archetype for that color combination. I think that it's a pretty good card. And Pegasus Coarser is just a really good card for allowing you to get your creatures through. So I'm going to go with Knightly Valor. Again, just really trying to take the best card in the pack out of the first couple. So here, it looks like there are a couple of good cards in Arcane Encyclopedia, just like a really strong draw engine. So if you can slow the game down, then that card does everything that you want it to. There's Exclusion Mage, which I think is a very powerful card on its own. Just 2 and a blue for a 2/2 that bounces something has always been really good. And then there's a couple of good big green creatures in Centaur, Coarser, and Colossal Dreadmaw. I think that I'm going to go with the blue card here. I know I'm sort of abandoning this Murder, even though we did see decent enough black already. This isn't really going to commit me into anything. It's also possible I should be taking the Encyclopedia, because if I'm going to be in blue-white, then I'm going to be in an artifact deck anyway. But I think that Exclusion Mage is just better enough than the rest of the cards that it'll do me good to actually take it here. Okay, so we sort of have a decision. Saw a couple of good white cards out of the first couple of packs, and then a blue card. So I could stay on board and take another blue card, Disperse, which is solid but not incredible. I could go with a very solid blue card in Salvager of Secrets. Wouldn't go well in the blue-white version of this deck, but if I can get back to the black version, then starting out with an Exclusion Mage, a Murderer, and a Salvager is pretty good. There's also an Anticipate. There's a Child of Night. I think I'm just going to go with Disperse and sort of just like go with the lower interaction rather than trying to start on a more aggressive or sort of a more grindy play, just to make, because I feel like you end up losing games when you don't have any interaction a lot of the time. But anyway, I hope you guys are ready for this video to be super awkward and me just randomly staring at the camera and randomly looking down, and yeah, it's going to be good. So out of this pack, we have some really good black cards in Doom Dissenter. Well, not really good. I mean, middle of the pack black cards. This is sort of what I would expect. Doom Dissenter, Macabre Waltz, Diagraph Ghoul are all fine. I think I'm going to take the Aviation Pioneer. It's looking like there's a good chance that I'm going to be in blue-white, and this guy makes an artifact, so if I pick up that gold card or some of the other artifact synergies, then I can really see some good stuff coming out of that. So speaking of artifact synergies, both these are meant to work with the artifact deck. I'm going to take the artifact over the synergies. I think that picking up Scholar of Stars, Pack Beast is not going to be that hard. Picking up playable artifacts a little bit more hard. This is really stretching the lines of playability, but it definitely does some work in this deck. So looks like we're solidly in blue-white. I mean, it's obviously possible that we end up in a different deck. I mean, as I say that, there's no blue-white cards in this pack and a couple of playable black cards. So I'll go ahead and take the Child of Night. I think Child of Night would be a little bit better in a black-white life gain deck, but I'm still going to move these to the sideboard because that's very much my not my preference at this point to be in that deck. Not too much in terms of really good cards for what I'm looking at in blue-white. I could take this Totally Lost or this Wall of Mist. I think I'm going to go with a Wall of Mist. Again, just starting on the side of the cheap cards that will allow me to survive the early game rather than the more slower, more value cards. Totally Lost is not really a value card, but I think you see where I'm coming from here. Man, Fel Spectre came around. I do kind of want a Marauder's Axe regardless, but Fel Spectre coming around sort of leads me to believe that black might be underdrafted at the table. There might be somebody next to me in black, but it really, I mean, there was also a Skymarch Bloodletter, but I really expected that card to go earlier in this pack. I haven't seen much white, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Fel Spectre here. I might regret that if I end up solidly in black-white, but I think that I haven't seen enough white for it to be worth it. So I should probably just take the card that'll go in either deck because it's looking like I'm very solidly going to be in blue. Epicure would be better in black-white, but I don't think that that's likely to happen. Pack Beast, it's not really a card that even the black-white artifacts deck is looking to play, I don't think. I'll take an Anticipate here, but yeah, I mean, I do not know what colors I am in at this point, which is a little bit scary considering that I really need a lot of... I think that synergy is very important in this format. Based on what I've seen from the decks that beat me, it's just the decks that are really humming and just doing their thing, and the decks that I lose with are the ones that are sort of just plodding along, not really sure what to do here and there. That being said, I don't know where I'm going to be from here. It might just depend solely on what I pick up from here on out. Okay, so speaking of lack of synergy, I'm not really sure what the synergistic piece of the blue-black deck is supposed to be, but let's think about this pack for a little bit here. So Lathless, really good rare, but it's very far from what I'm doing. Skyscanner is probably going to be my pick, by the way. And I just love this card in pretty much every deck that it's in. It's a small roadblock. It's a creature that supports the artifact decks. It's a creature that supports the sacrifice themes. So if I end up in blue-white, I'll be happy with Skyscanner. I would probably take Knightly Valor over it in general in blue-white, but I don't think I'm going to end up in blue-white. And if I end up in black-blue, then maybe the Salvager would have been a little bit better, but really not much. So yeah, I think that this is going to be Skyscanner. There are definitely cards that are better than it in the pack, Electrify, Lathless, whatever, but I'm not too unhappy about grabbing a Skyscanner at any point in the draft, really. So, all right. what do we got here? So I still don't know if I'm white or black. If I am white, then I'll probably grab a Take Vengeance here. If I am black, probably Dwindle. Let's see. I mean, this thing is fine, but it's nothing special, so I don't think that's really worth it. And it would have to come off the splash, which is not something that I'm too keen on doing. I should probably just grab this Dwindle. It would be much better in the blue. It'll be great in the blue-black deck, and it'll be fine in the blue-white deck either way. So yeah, I'm just gonna grab this Dwindle. Fountain of Renewal will be great in the black-white deck, but I think we're gonna be base blue, so it makes sense to just grab the blue card while we figure everything else out. There's not really too many playable cards in either choice here, so I think I'll just grab this Child of Night. Tolarian Scholar's not something that I'll be looking to play. Uncomfortable Chill, also not something I'm going to be looking to play. Child of Night is not great. I really am not a huge fan of that card. Maybe I shouldn't even bother with it then. I don't know, because, yeah, I just don't like it. I really don't like it in blue-black at all. I guess I'll take a Mighty... I already have a Mighty Leap. Should I take a second Mighty Leap? Yeah, I don't know. This is really unfortunate. This is not what I want to see. Alright, I'll take a Bog Stomper. But that pack had nothing for me, basically. My woes continue. Really nothing in this pack that I want to play. And definitely no signals that tell me, okay, you should be in this color, okay, you should be in that color. I'm going to go ahead and assume that I'm in blue-black, because I feel like black has been more open in general. Let's sort by converted mana cost. I feel like black has been more open in general. I don't know. I'll grab this Vampire Neonate. I think it's better than Daybreak Chaplain or Resco Swiftclaw. I think that the best card in this pack in general is probably Colossal Dreadmaw, but it's not like there's anything ridiculous that I'm passing up here. So, yeah, I mean, this could still change. I could still switch back, but I don't love where this is going. Alright, let's grab an Epicure of Blood. Big creature at the top of the curve. I don't have any 5-drops anymore. With Child of Night and Vampire Neonate, maybe it'll be something that I want to include. I think that might be interesting. I don't really love Ravenous Harpy in this kind of deck. It's fine, but it's nothing crazy, and it's not really what I need to be doing. If I picked up more Doom Dissenters, then that would be good. Yeah, I mean, basically, if I can find a way to win, like maybe get a Psychic Corrosion or two or something like that, then Doom Dissenter could be a good roadblock. It definitely slows the game down when you have this like double chump blocker, or chump the first time, save a couple damage, then trade. That ends up working out pretty well. Nightmare's Thirst or Disperse are my options here. Second Disperse, probably not great in a deck that's really looking to get to the late game, so I'll take this Nightmare's Thirst. It plays well with some of the cards that I have. Grab a cancel here. I would like that Salvager of Secrets to come back now. I feel like it would be good in this version of the deck. There we go. Finally, something that I wanted to happen in this draft happened. I don't think that I would be playing multiple Nightmare's Thirst in this deck anyway, so I'll go ahead and grab the Salvager of Secrets. Grab another Anticipate, not really something that I'm looking to play, but neither of the other cards were particularly interesting either. Tolarian Scholar for the sideboard. Man, I think I've seen these three cards together in 2 or 3 packs already. Okay. So leaving the third pack, we're not looking great, but things are okay. We might be able to survive this draft. These cards are cards that I'm looking to cut. I probably want to cut this guy as well. I want a good way to win the game. So right now I have a couple of dorky flyers and Skyscanner and Aviation Pioneer and Fell Spectre. This guy can become unblockables. This guy can start draining. This guy helps with the drain plan. So it's not like, ooh, Ravenous Harpy. That actually might make the deck. Ooh, this is a foil land. I'll take that over a +1/+7 trick that nobody would ever put in their deck anyway. Okay, yeah. So I think that this is not the worst possible situation. Let's leave it at that. It's not one of those decks that's going to have a lot of synergy, which is what I want to be doing in this deck or in this format. So that's pretty unfortunate. But at least I have some good things going on. Okay, so this pack has 4 cards that I want, 5 cards that I want. I would play Strangling Spores, Sift, Plague Mare, Bone to Ash, and Snapping Drake. I would put all 5 of those cards in my deck. I'm going to leave Plague Mare out for now, just because I think I'm going to end up being a little bit heavier blue than black, although maybe I will be about even. But I don't think it's as powerful. Actually, let me just go out and say that I think that Sift and Bone to Ash are the 2 most powerful cards in this pack. How much removal do I have for real creatures? I mean, Nightmare's Thirst is not real removal. This is real removal. This is. So I don't really have any Essence Scatters yet. I don't have too much card advantage either. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bone to Ash. I think that the combination of removal plus card advantage will is exactly what my deck's looking for. Whoa! Talk about talk about a gift. Man, I cannot believe how lucky that is. That is, could not ask for a more perfect card for this deck. For those of you who haven't seen it, this card basically just puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard every turn, and you draw a card for each land you control. So this is exactly what this deck needed. I just want to make the game go long, draw and play this card, and kill them with it. So that is very exciting. Exactly what I needed. Bookcase would have been fine for the deck. Macabre Waltz probably would have been fine for the deck. So those are a couple of things to look out for. I don't think that I'm going to get either of them back, though. Okay, this pack has Reassembling Skeleton, which is really an excellent card, and this Psi Master Thopterist. So I have 2 artifacts, so I think that Reassembling Skeleton will be better, even if I can find a 3rd artifact somewhere. At some point, it probably won't be as good as this guy. This guy really works well with the Harpy. It comes back from your graveyard and can chump block something every turn. It's just a really annoying card to play against, and if you've used it, then you know the kind of shenanigans you can do. I would be really happy at this point in the draft to pick up a Blood Divination, and that's a card that works really well with Reassembling Skeleton, so hopefully we'll find something like that. Not too many good cards in my colors, but Meteor Golem is perfect for this deck, especially if I can find a Macabre Waltz, a Gravedigger or something like that to help get it back. This card works so well with that. It actually works really well with the card next to it, Abnormal Endurance, because it'll just trade for something, or it enters the battlefield, blows something up. You attack with it, they block with their big creature that can eat this guy, you play Abnormal Endurance, it kills that, and then comes back and kills their next best thing. So, I mean, obviously I'm describing a perfect situation for the card, but I think that it's not impossibly far from what you should expect from that card. Okay, next pack has got a Totally Lost. It's got an Aven Wind Mage. I think I like Aven Wind Mage here. Totally Lost is a card that I'm not super looking to play in this deck. It really doesn't end up mattering too much. It sort of just delays the game another turn. Aven Wind Mage is also not something that I really feel like I need for this deck, but just having an alternate plan, I do have a good number of ways to just sort of grind the game out, and if this guy can get in for enough damage, then maybe I can win some games that way. So I like that. Switcheroo sounds appealing to me. Between Reassembling Skeleton, which for them would just be a 1/1. Doom Dissenter, same thing. I get the token when it dies. Wall of Mist, depending on the matchup, could be pretty useless. Skyscanner is just a 1/1 dude. Aviation Pioneer. I think that I have a good amount of... It sort of goes along with the lines of what I was saying with Blood Divination. So I think I'm happy with that. I would really be fine taking Departed Deckhand, which is a really good evasive creature, Dwindle, which is another removal spell, or even Mind Rot just for some card advantage, but I think in this case Switcheroo will be pretty much exactly what I want. More cards that I want for this deck. Salvager of Secrets does really good things at this point. I have Anticipate, Disperse, Nightmare's Thirst, Cancel, Bone to Ash, Murder, Switcheroo. So I do like that. I also like Snapping Drake, but I think that my deck would prefer a Salvager, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that here. I will grab another Disperse, not something that I'm looking to main deck, but could be pretty valuable out of the sideboard. Sift? Wow. This was my original pack, and there were so many cards that I wanted, but this was the card that I wanted second, so I'll be very happy to grab this. It almost seems like I should be a mono blue deck, to be honest. I could probably pull it off. So I'll grab like a Naturalize or something. Could grab a third Anticipate, but I don't really think that I'll need that. Grab Tolarian Scholar in case I need an early creature. Not much here. Totally Lost is not a useless card. And I actually am going to have to make some cuts. I think I'm going to cut... I think I want to cut the Ravenous Harpy. I might cut, like... I don't want to cut too much. Like, I don't want to cut the Aviation Pioneer. I did get the Switcheroo, which should be really good in combination. I can probably go ahead and cut Nightmare's Thirst. And maybe Child of Night. Those two are cards that, let me creature separately. Those two are cards that are better depending on, or like they're better in matchups where my opponent's really aggressive. But I have a good amount of stuff to do early on. Let's see. What else can I do? What else can I do? I can get rid of this Frilled Sea Serpent. I do sort of just need a way to end the game that's not Patient Rebuilding. Like, if I don't draw Patient Rebuilding, then it might be nice to have this thing on the top end. Could cut, like, Aven Windmage. Card doesn't really work with my plan too well. I could also just cut Ravenous Harpy outside of Reassembling Skeleton. Yeah, I'm going to cut Ravenous Harpy. I mean, this card is good, but I don't think that it's perfect. It's a perfect fit for the deck. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Add my lands. I'm not going to go 12-5. I might go 10-7. I think that's pretty safe. I do have a lot of double blue, so I want to hit my blue pretty early, but I also have a 1-drop and 2/2-drop black creatures, so yeah, you want to really make sure that you're hitting that stuff early on, hitting the black mana early on. Normally I would just start a new recording, but I'll save myself the editing time, hopefully. I was actually going to play Magic the Gathering Arena, but they were doing their stress test, and it turns out that the amount that their server could handle was more, or was actually, let me actually move this and maybe make my face a little smaller. So it doesn't encroach on the battlefield. It turns out that their server could handle not as many as people as a stress test needed, because their server crashed immediately. I could not get into a game the second that it started. So that was awkward for them. So my hand is really, really good. I have Switcheroo, I have Salvager of Secrets, I have Doom Dissenter to hold off the early portions of this game. I think I'm gonna not play Anticipate yet because I don't really know what I need. I'm gonna go with a Wall of Mist. Reason being, this will allow me to block the Druid of the Cowl if it attacks. There's a good chance that my opponent's going to ramp into some creature, and I'll want Druid of the Cowl, or I want Wall of Mist on the battlefield to handle whatever creature they play next turn, even though there's not really a huge necessity to block. But this deck has like Bristling Board that they can play. Bogger Brute is a example of something that I can't block. So I have I have 4 lands, so I will need 1 more land at some point. I could play Swamp and hold up Murder, just in case they play like a pump spell. Well, actually I can't block, so that's not really likely to happen. I could just murder something on their end step if they play like a bomb. I don't really love my choices here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play Swamp and Doom Dissenter. I could double chump, and then next turn I could actually trade, but I think that I'm just going to pass the turn, or just take the 3 damage rather. Bogart Brute. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Wall of Mist, because they would have played like a different 3-drop or 4-drop or something like that that can actually get walled off by this. But alright, there's Draconic Disciple. I wonder if I could switch. Well, I guess I could just Switcheroo the dragon once they make it. So that's kind of silly. Well, there's Patient Rebuilding. I don't really need to hit a land main phase, and I'm not too concerned with playing something this turn, so I'm just going to pass the turn. If they play nothing of consequence, then I'll just anticipate on end step. If I really feel like I need to murder something, then I'll murder it, but I think that that's unlikely. I think that there's that's a very, very optimal. Let me just do this now to at least pretend that I have a. It's a great switcheroo target. At least pretend that I have. Actually, how does this work? Who creates the 2/2? I really don't know. I might be wrong on that. Let me look it up. Yeah, okay, so let me anticipate. I'm going to try and find a land. Either way, I think that it's worth trading for. This card is going to be so annoying for them to beat. I'm just going to grab a land here. On my side of the board. So, yeah, I think that, I mean, they basically just get completely walled off by their own creature. Eventually they'll play a 5/5 dragon, but I'll have Switcheroo for that. Okay, so I can just do this because I know that I'm gonna Switcheroo it next turn, so I may as well just give them the 2/2 rather than the 1/1 and the 2/2. Save the 3 life out of it as well. So yeah, this is working out for me. All I need to do at this point is play Patient Rebuilding and kill them with it, basically. I can also Salvager of Secrets back my Switcheroo and then Switcheroo Salvager to them. But yeah, I just need to survive some amount of time. There's not too much on their end that they can really do about that thing. So, yeah, this is looking good. And milling them should draw me the lands to play Meteor Golem next turn if I need to. But yeah, this is working out well. My opponent's up to 6 mana, so if they get 1 more, then they can get their 5/5 flyer. But it's not like we're at the point of the game where I'm worried about getting one-shot by it. Then I would have to try and keep up murder. So yeah, there are obviously things that my opponent can do, but it's really looking pretty good. Okay, and we get to see their entire deck, which is cool. Oh, I milled 0. That's unfortunate. Alright, that's fine though. I milled 0 lands, so I didn't get any extra cards out of it. But I'll just play an Epicure of Blood here. It's just a big 4/4, so another big creature for me to block their stuff. I could have started the Salvager train, getting back Switcheroo. Might have been a good idea. This turn they're probably just going to hold back, hit me for 3 in the air. But, I mean, I have so much life to work with. I'm not particularly concerned. Okay. Wow, another 3 spells, but this time I actually drew the land, so I can go ahead and Meteor Golem. I'd rather try and hit another land next turn so that I could play both of those things. But yeah, I know that they're going to be cracking this and making a 5/5 on their end step, so getting rid of the 3/3 flyer means that now I will take 1 hit from the 5/5 flyer, but then I'll be able to murder it or switcheroo it or something. Probably murder it just to get it off the table as soon as possible. My opponent's deck looks good. They're playing a lot of really good creatures. I just happened to draw all my best cards this game. That being said, they could still win with like a declared dominance or something. If they have one of those, that would kill me on the spot. Alright, there we go. Not only that, but I hit Exclusion Mage, which is perfect for this situation. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to go ahead and play Exclusion Mage, bounce/kill this, and leave mana up for murder so that I'm not in danger of being killed by Declare Dominance, because I'll just be able to murder that creature. And yeah, just coast the rest of this game. Elvish Rejuvenator. Sure, take another card out of the deck. That's fine with me. Yeah, I mean, the opponent definitely has no good attacks. I think my creatures are strictly, or not strictly better, but I think my creatures are just better than theirs at this point. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 technically attackers, and I have 5 blockers. I guess sort of that makes it sort of 7, but I mean, I can block pretty much everything that they've got. All right, there we go. Picking up some more cards here. I mean, my opponent's got no cards in hand, so I don't really know what one card I could lose to at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and play the Sea Serpent and leave Murder up. This is just a really messed up card. I didn't even, like, my opponent was way ahead on board, I barely stabilized, and then I just dropped Patient Rebuilding, and then the game ends. So I didn't, I meant to take a screenshot of that, darn. I didn't see some of the really good cards from my opponent. I think I might add this Disperse. Yeah, I think I'm going to add the Disperse. It works really well with my Salvagers, and it also works really well with Switcheroo plus Salvager, because like I could Switcheroo them to Salvager, then disperse my Salvager back to my hand, then play Salvager, get my Switcheroo back, and take another thing. I might be thinking in, I don't think that this is perfect. It's possible that I should be playing Totally Lost instead of Disperse, but I mean, just the getting rid of the 5/5 is such a good mode on Disperse, and the fact that it can really buy me some time in the early game, which I might need just to set up my shenanigans in the late game. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this deck. I saw Giant Spider, and I'm sure that my opponent's going to be keeping Giant Spider in. So the 2/2 isn't so good for me. Alright, I'm going to keep this hand, and I think it's pretty good. I have some removal that I can cast early on. Now I've got a couple of counters, so that'll be good. As long as my opponent doesn't make a really big turn 3 play, which, ugh, talk about a really good play. This is a big problem for me, because now my opponent is going to be able to basically draw about 4/10 or half a card every turn for the rest of the game, and I'll have to figure out a way to deal with it. Okay, so here I could dwindle this, but I think that I'm going to get better chances, and I want to save my mana to be able to cancel their 4-drop. I do need something to answer this, because it is just going to otherwise run away with the game. But it's definitely something to worry about for later. It's really unfortunate that it wasn't on the play, because then I would have been able to cancel it. So yeah, definitely going to be difficult to get back into this one with them playing two really, or not really good, but like just 2 threats early in the game. So that is really annoying, because I don't want to cancel that because I can just block it with Neonate. So I am just going to let that resolve. I'm really not too concerned with that one. So I'm going to go ahead and drop Neonate this turn. I can block Giant Spider with it, and I can still cancel something. That's the main reason why I was okay not playing Cancel Esther, and it was like very unfortunate. I wish I could have just dwindled the Centaur Coarser, but yeah, not much I can do. So I've got a lot of card advantage cards in my hand. I've got Sift, I've got Salvager, and Bone to Ash, so all of those will put me up cards. I gotta cancel this at this point just to save the Neonate so that I can continue to block. Okay, that's fine. So what do I do now? I don't think the answer is play Skyscanner, because that does not do me much. I might want to just play Sift to make sure that I continue to hit my land drops. Leaves myself open next turn, which is not what I want to be doing, but they already played this mountain, so I can... Hello. I can get rid of it. Okay, let's see. So my options are... I could dwindle this, I could play Skyscanner, and then chump this, and then double block it in 2 turns, which is something. I think I want to Sift here. That will allow me to keep hitting my land drops, and then if they play a big threat, then I can dwindle it. That's also a pretty good reason to do Skyscanner, and then if I also draw a land off of it, then I can Neonate, but I'm not too likely to draw a land off of 1 draw, so I'm going to go ahead and play Sift. My opponent is a huge sigh of relief there. They wanted nothing more than me to just not do anything with my turn. Wow. Okay, well, at least I have an obvious thing to discard in Reassembling Skeleton, but that is not what I wanted to say. I wanted to hit my land drop there. Yeah, very unfortunate. Okay, so hit me for another 3, down to 11. It's not like I need to... okay, what is it? It's not like I need to be getting back into this. Ugh, that is really unfortunate. That's something that Dwindle is not going to do a good job of holding off. I mean, I still need to play Dwindle on it, because it would get through for way too much damage, but it still can prevent me from chumping, can prevent me from blocking, so very unfortunate there that they happened to grab that. Like, that happened to be their 5-drop, and it wasn't just like the Baloth. If it was the Baloth, then I'd be able to get rid of the Baloth and it wouldn't be relevant. But this is one reason why Dwindle isn't nearly as good as like Murder or anything like that. Yeah, and they're going to be able to already make use of its ability. And this turn I'm going to chump the Centaur Coarser. I need to start chumping at some point, so... Alright, we want to draw like Murder here, so we can... Oh no, I can't get Murder actually, because that does not work, or that doesn't work with my current mana base, so... I don't think that I'm going to be able to turn this one around. I needed to hit this land a few turns ago, I believe. Okay, so I can go with like Aviation Pioneer plus Reassembling Skeleton buyback or Neonate activation. So let me do that. Gives me a couple more creatures so that I'll definitely have something that can block the Pyromancer. And again, with Skeleton, it comes in tapped, but it's still a good use of my mana at this point. So let's see, the opponent's going to be able to make one thing not block. So if they make this not block, then I can't double block the Centaur Coarser, which is unfortunate. But at least I'll be able to block everything else. Then I'll take 3. I'll still probably bring back the Skeleton rather than activate the Neonate. Okay, this is odd if they're not gonna... Maybe they have like a Titanic Growth or something? Okay, well, either way, I think I'm pretty priced into these blocks. We'll see what their combat trick of choice is, but there's really not... I don't really have much choice. These are obviously very favorable blocks for me, but they wouldn't be making this attack and not using this if they didn't have anything. So they have a Titanic Growth. That's not so bad for me. Okay. That could have been a lot worse. Hopefully they don't have a follow-up creature here. Alright. Oh no! That's bad. Okay. Anticipate, you say. Alright. They're going to be able to make 2 things not block next turn. Let's see. So how am I getting out of this? I don't really know. I'm going to anticipate and see. Frilled Sea Serpent, Disperse. I think I need to take the Swamp because I think that my real out is Murder. And I guess I play Fell Spectre to get rid of their last card. But they're still going to be able to hit me for 5 here. Yeah, I don't think... well, I guess I have to draw a land for that. If they don't draw a land, then I can at least chump block. Oh, they didn't go for an activation. Alright. I think that I want to just block like this. A little surprised that there was no activation there. Colossal Dreadmaw. Well, there's Murder, but I think it's too late because they will be able to activate at least one. It might not be too late. I need to hit another land drop right here. So that I can... Oh, no, that's not good enough. Well, maybe. We'll see. Alright, let's pass the turn back. If they just go straight to attacks, then I might be okay. Probably not, though. Declare dominance. Let's see. So if I murder this, then there's just way too much damage coming in. Because even if I murder this and I throw all my toughness here, then I still take 5 and die. Okay, you got me. Declare dominance is in their deck, so they should definitely not have conceded last game. That was a huge mistake on their part, I think, because they clearly still had an out to winning it. I think that the real problem with that game was just that they got on the front foot. and I never was able to recover. So yeah, hopefully this game I'll be able to, I don't know, keep the game a little bit more steady and work from there. Like maybe this card is one that I can get rid of, but I like it. I like it for double blocks. I think it's solid. Yeah, let's play first, and hopefully I won't fall as far behind. Okay, this is a good hand. I will need to draw lands, and pretty quickly, but at least I have Dispersed to slow them down early on, and I think that as long as I'm able to do that, then I should be able to make it. But yeah, I mean, either type of land would be great. I have Cancel and Murder, so I'll need double of both at some point. I'm really hoping not to see the Green Seeker. Druid of the Cowl is not perfect for me, but it's okay. Play Doom Dissenter. So, I mean, I knew that there was a chance that I would miss land drops with keeping a 2-land hand, but I don't really think that there's any way that I send this one back. It was just doing too much of what I needed it to do. Bogart Brute is not exactly what they want to see. But yeah, they'll be able to hit me for one with the Druid of the Cowl. That's okay. Man. Alright, so I guess what I'm hoping for here is a double block and them to play like Titanic Growth and then miss a land drop so that they really get stuck here, or like electrify one of my guys in combat or something. That would be perfect. Okay, so they're just sending in the Druid of the Cowl because they don't like that trade. And I'm probably just going to disperse whatever they play here. Well, I guess I could disperse the Bogart Brute, but I don't think I really need to, actually, so I'm just going to keep the Disperse for now. Oh, no. Another thing? Ugh, that is a lot. Okay, now I'm going to disperse the Bogart Brute, because I don't want to... I don't want them to attack with everything next turn and me to take a ton of damage because of it. It's not a great play, but I'm really banking on the fact that I'm going to draw land next turn. Man, could have used one of those lands, but at least my board does a pretty good job of holding them off this turn. What is this? Declare Dominance? Volcanic Dragon. Man, that would have been a good thing for me to be able to cancel. Okay, so they hit me for 4. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, that's really good for me. I just get to block with Skeleton and immediately return it. I guess I should have held that. Bang. Alright, well, I'm going to lose this one, but very unfortunate. I just needed to hit some more lands. I obviously have the tools that to win this sort of game, this matchup. I think that I'm pretty favored in this kind of matchup. I do have a lot of removal. I have a lot of card advantage, ways to pull ahead. I just really got stuck on mana. It's possible that I should have thrown in another land in this game just to make sure that something like this doesn't happen, but yeah, what can you do? Colossal Dreadmaw or something. Yeah, I mean, both games, I really just felt, oh, I guess it could be Hungry Hydra. It's not so bad. Alright, well, at this point I need to, like, my plan is really just like a lot of chump blocks and hitting that second swamp. Dwindle is a good draw. So yeah, I have to chump this Volcanic Dragon. They're just going to send in the team here. I don't think that they quite have lethal. I'll block both of these. Hungering Hydra gets one bigger, but I could still dwindle it. I can't have you playing more cards here. I guess they do have the Bogart Brute that I know about, so yeah, there's really not much that we could have done here. I think I'm gonna die, but it hurts because both games I feel like I was just like 1 or 2 turns or 1 or 2 lands earlier away from being able to stabilize. But either way, good games to the opponent. Obviously not the way I wanted it to go, but I think that my deck is good, and I am excited to play the next round. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey guys, back for round number 2. Okay, cool. I like this hand. It looks like I'll be able to do fun stuff like play Patient Rebuilding, maybe, for one. The more that I think about it, the more that I don't really want Epicure Blood in my deck. That's annoying. I'm not really sure how it ended up staying. Alright, cool. So, anyway, I'm going to play... I'll probably sideboard that out after this game, but I'm going to play Wall of Mist here. Reassembling Skeleton will do more work maybe in the later part of the game, but for now, just having something big to block like Centaur Coarser is going to work out better for me. I am really tempted to just murder this Dryad Greenseeker. If Patient Rebuilding goes well, then there's very little that my opponent can do that will win them the game. If it gets like Reclamation Saged or Naturalized, then the Dryad Greenseeker will have already drawn them like 5 cards or something like that. I guess one way I could lose is if they play like a flyer of some sort, but I'm going to go ahead and murder it. I have 2 Salvager of Secrets in my deck, so I think that there's a good chance that I'll be able to get it back at some point. I'm fine with the 2-for-1 because this card can be like a 12-for-1. So it just really goes to show how much I respect this card, is just that I'm willing to murder it on turn 2 or on my turn 3, just to try and make sure that they don't get more value out of it. Okay, so there's a Bristling Boar, and I hit my land drop that I will need to drop Patient Rebuilding next turn. I am okay taking a couple of hits from this Centaur Coarser. Could also just chump with the Aviation Pioneer. Ooh, that is terrifying. Maybe... Oh, they didn't attack. A little weird. Okay, so like I could play Epicure of Blood, which will be able to trade for this if it attacks. I think I'm just going to drop Patient Rebuilding. It's not the end of the world if they get the 2 1/1s, and man, if they have like a Inspired Charge next turn or this turn, that would be really bad for me. Cavalry Drill Master. Okay, so they're going to be able to... I mean, they were going to be able to hit with that anyway, but that'll add some more damage to it. But yeah, I'm just going to trade there, block there, and then take 10. It's a lot of damage. I think that that's okay, though. I think that that's sort of what we got to do. And another creature. Okay, so let's draw some cards. I like this. So I could play Reassembling Skeleton here, but then I won't be... I think I just want to pass the turn. This way I'll be able to disperse this guy when they go to combat, and then Bone to Ash it on the way back down. I kind of just should have dispersed this on my turn, because now they might play something pre-combat. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. That was a really good Patient Rebuilding hit, by the way. Definitely lucky to have 2 lands right at the beginning. Okay, we're going to bounce the War Leader before we go to damage. Or before we go to attacks, rather. They still have decent attacks. I guess they can get in for 3 damage. I'm going to trade the Thopter here because I want to keep the 1/2 around to eat cats. Or I guess there's 1 cat. Maybe I shouldn't. Oh, okay, now the 1/2 is going to be able to block Druid of the Cowl. So that makes it much better. Okay, take the 3. And I should be able to turn the corner here. Oh, this is a different creature. They have a 5-drop as well, maybe? Trying to decide which one to play. Okay, that's annoying. I think I just have to Bone to Ash this. I wanted to get the cat, but I'll just be able to trade with the cat, so... And, okay, I was going to say, and hopefully I'll draw something like Cancel. Alright, so here I can play Fel Spectre, make them discard one of their cards, and get another blocker out, and then still have Cancel. I like that. I am getting low on life, which is pretty scary. They have Sigiled Sword of Valor, which is quite a good card. So this turn, they can hit me for another 3. I might just chump it with the Aviation Pioneer if they don't attack with more things. I will cancel this. Yeah, I'm going to jump block. Aviation Pioneer is going to do better by absorbing the 3 damage here than anything else. They might have like a Titanic Growth. Okay, so they're going to be able to kill the Wall of Mist. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not out of the woods, but... Okay. That is going to be a really helpful turn. So, let's see, I've got 5/8 mana. So I can go 3/3/2. I can go 5 and 3. Maybe I'll just do 5 and 3. I think that looks a little bit better. Yeah, so I can play Epicure of Blood. I can Dwindle, Brindlebore, and now my opponent's down to 1 card in hand, and I've got blockers for their attackers. So, I mean, they could obviously still draw something here, but this is looking good. Ugh, Angel of the Dawn. That's not what I want to see. Okay, so I think here I just eat the Druid of the Cowl and chump the Centaur Coarser. No, I probably don't want to chump. Ugh, what a decision here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to trade here and block here, and then I should be okay surviving next turn, but man, this is scary. I mean, I can definitely survive this turn. Wow. I have gotten so lucky in hitting some cards here. I think I'm just going to bounce Angel of the Dawn. Maybe I should just... No, I can't hit Salvager. I know that bouncing Angel of the Dawn sounds silly, but I'll be able to block the other guys. Okay, so I've got 6/9 mana, so maybe I shouldn't have played that land. Well, anyway, I can Sift and ditch Reassembling Skeleton, so then I'll have 5 mana left, so I can still play Exclusion Mage and Doom Dissenter. Alright, so let's do that. Okay, reassembling skeleton. Well, I guess instead of Exclusion Mage, I can just play Skyscanner. No, I'll just bounce it. And then I'm actually going to play Vampire Neonate. It's a little bit less mana efficient, but I want Neonate on the battlefield protecting my my life total. Or like to start draining them so that I can survive a couple more turns. Am I even going to be able to mill them, or am I just going to get milled at the same rate? Okay, there's Angel of the Dawn, and they don't really have any attacks here. I mean, they could attack just to gain the 2 life. Wouldn't be a terrible idea. They did not. Alright, so I did not draw any cards this turn. That's okay, though. Let's go with a Skyscanner first. Okay, drew a land. So now we've got 4/7 mana. So I can play both these cards and still activate Vampire Neonate here. Opponent's got another Angel of the Dawn. They've got a Pegasus Coarser. Gallant Cavalry is a relevant card of theirs. I think that I'm okay just double blocking. If it doesn't work, then I still have Fell Spectre to chump, and I mean, they'll just need a lot of things in order to get out of this, I think. Because then I'll also be able to make the clock 3 turns with Vampire Neonate, so I don't know. I mean, I guess they could have, like, Prodigious Growth. But that would work either way. Prodigious Growth is the +7/+7 and trample enchantment. So, okay, that worked out for me. It's a little bit risky for them to do anything because I can always play a... okay, they're just going to give up. Yeah, that's fair. Let me actually take a screenshot. Oops. Okay, so this is what they did last game. I'll just drag this over here. Yeah, screenshot's important because I got the information about most of their deck. Let's take out this Epicure of Blood. I really don't think that it's good in my deck. So for them, they don't have too much going on in terms of like interaction. They have Sigiled Sword of Valor, which is not something that I want them to play against me. They have Cavalry Drillmaster and the cats, but other than that, I didn't see anything that Nightmare's Thirst kills, so I'm not going to go ahead and bring that in. Child of Night might be good. They have Gallant Cavalry. They have a couple of copies of that. They have a Loxodon Linebreaker. They have Cavalry Drillmaster, which you can trade with, and they have Rox Oracle. So like none of those are great trades for me, but they're okay. I can also bring in Bog Stomper just as like a bigger creature to tussle with their big creatures. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough matchup. I don't want Epicure. I think I want Bog Stomper. Well, Bog Stomper's also double black. Yeah, all right. We're bringing in the Stompster. Totally Lost. You know what? I think I'm gonna bring in Totally Lost. I think it gives me a better out to them just like playing an early Sigiled Sword and just killing me with it. So yeah, I think that this should work out okay. All right. So this is a pretty slow hand, but I do have Patient Rebuilding. I have an Anticipate, and then I also have a Disperse just to buy me some time. So I think I like this one. Glad to draw the double blue, because I will need that at some point. All right, there is the Drill Master. Okay, cancels a good draw here. I want to disperse or anticipate this turn, but I'll still have 2 instants next turn, so I'm going to get to use my mana regardless, which is pretty nice. Okay, Centaur Coarser I think is going to do enough damage to me over the course of this game that it's worth bouncing. The way that I lose this game is if they curve out, and by bouncing that, it means that they're not going to get to replay that Centaur Coarser until like turn 6 or something like that. So I think that this will end up working out well for me, especially if they play like the Cat Lord here. Or if they just replay Centaur Coarser, I'll happily just cancel it on the way back down. And this is a 2-for-1 for them, but all that really matters is getting to the late game. Okay, so I was going to Sift here, but I think it'll just be better for me to play Vampire Neonate and Anticipate. Neonate can start blocking their guys, and that's what I'm really worried about, is just them killing me before I can really get my Patient Rebuilding lock going. This also represents having a cancel or an Essence Scatter, so they might be scared to play something. They were not, and I do not have the cancel, so that is unfortunate, especially because they are going to be able to hit me. I could like pretend that I have Nightmare's Thirst, so I will search. Guess I should have done that in response to that. Yeah, Murder. That's a good one here. It's perfect. I'll put Fel Spectre closer to the top of my library. Yeah, so this is a lot of damage here, but I think that I can handle it at this point. I'm going to take 3 down to 13, then next turn they're going to be able to attack me for another 3 down to 10, but then I'll be able to untap with Murder, with Patient Rebuilding going. I don't know what happened to my opponent. They took a break. What's up, guys? I can see you. Give you one of the waves every once in a while just to make sure that you know that I'm here. Obviously you know that I'm here, but I need you to know that I know that you know that I'm here. Okay, they're back. Drawing Murder is pretty good. Meteor Golem. Forgot about that fellow. Haven't seen him in a while. So yeah, Patient Rebuilding, really important to drop that now so that I can hit my land drops and hopefully be able to cast this guy on time. Hopefully they don't play like a Reclamation Sage or an Invoke the Divine or an Astralize. They probably brought it in after seeing this card just like run away with the game. So definitely a possibility, but I'm hoping that we can hold this game a little bit further. All right, I'll block. They have very little reason to not attack, so, and here's the Naturalize. No Naturalize, okay. I quite literally held my breath there. Cool, this is looking good. Drew 17 cards. I can play Wall of Mist and Murder their Angel. Don't think that there's a huge reason to wait. I really wish I did draw a land. I do want to hit Meteor Golem, but Wall of Mist is perfect. I'm completely stable at this point. They could obviously get out of it, but Angel of the Dawn #2. That's not bad. Okay, so I am going to get hit for 5. No, I'm just going to get hit for 3. All right, let's just... they're obviously going to attack with both their creatures. I have no power on board. So yeah, I'm going to be able to block there and just take the 3 from the Cavalry Drill Master. But I am definitely not stable anymore, because they have this 3/3 flyer that I have no answer to. I can draw like a Disperse, and that would be a weird answer to it because I can play Aven Windmage. Okay, this is good. So I can totally lost it, and then hopefully Meteor Golem them? Totally losing it is really not a great answer, though. I can also just play Frilled Sea Serpent, but I don't like that. I can also just play Wind Mage, and then threaten to have a thing, and then next turn do a thing, and then also use my Vampire Neonate. I think I like that actually a little bit better than just totally losting. Obviously I have 1,000 different things that I could do, but I think that this is probably my best option. They might not attack into the Aven Wind Mage because I left up 3 mana. And if they do attack, then I can just take the 3 damage here. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I still want to chump. No, I don't think I can chump. I think I have to be dead to the Titanic Growth that they have in their deck. And hope that they don't have it here. Marauder's Axe. Ugh. That's a lot of damage. I guess I wasn't dead to Titanic Growth. Now I am. Okay. Yeesh. Alright, I'm gonna chump block here. I'm hoping that I just draw land from Meteor Golem. If not, I can totally lost this. Like, I have answers to this card. I don't think I need to be as worried as I am about finding an answer to it. Like, I don't know. I could totally lost it, like, in their draw step, or like in their combat next turn, and then play Salvager of Secrets on my turn and then get Murder back. Like, I have so many answers to that card. And of course, just drawing land is an answer to that card. Can Meteor Golem the Angel. I could Meteor Golem the Axe, but Angel is much better for me at this point. Now I have a lot more lands to work with. War Leader is not a huge deal. I can trade off for that. They're not going to attack. Because now I'm up to 8 lands, so I can Salvager and Murder this turn. Or I can just totally lost, and then Salvager totally lost. I've got some good ways to make sure that I don't lose this game. So they just went with playing land. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to have access to 8 mana. So if I want to be mana efficient, then I can play a 6-drop and use Neonate. I can play Salvager to get back Murder. Or I can totally lost and use Neonate. I think those are my best options here. Interestingly enough, if I wait to totally lost on my turn, then their thing goes away. I don't know why I didn't think about that until just now. That was really bad, because Patient Rebuilding can get rid of it. So maybe I just go with that. Yeah, and I can still use Neonate to go up a life, which is pretty important here. There's temptation to just sort of like coast at this point in the game, because obviously I'm very likely to win with Patient Rebuilding out, but there's also like really strong likelihood that they kill me. I mean, I'm definitely not out of the woods or anywhere near that. Like, I didn't even think about Declared Dominance. I guess I had the totally lost, so this plays pretty well against Declared Dominance, but that's something that I should think about. Like, what did they have last game? They had the Sword, Titanic Growth. They have a Pegasus Coarser, a couple of Gallant Cavalries left in their deck. Okay, that's not a big deal. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Phone's buzzing up a storm. Okay. This turn, I still now have access to 10 mana. So maybe I'll just go with Frilled Sea Serpent. All right, let me just pick up this phone call because I'm getting it again. Sorry about that, guys. I am back and riding this patient rebuilding to victory, hopefully. I mean, my deck looks really good when I draw that and play that on turn 5, so cool. Won the match, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next round. Hey there, guys, here for the third and final round. And usually by the time you get to the third round, you have a good idea of what your deck is trying to do. I don't know if I'm in that group. My deck's goal is to play Patient Rebuilding, and then just win the game slowly after that. So yeah, I've won 3 games that I've had Patient Rebuilding, and all the other games, or the other 2 games I suppose, I have lost. But both those games were not really my deck playing optimally. They sort of just didn't really function. Anyway, this is not a great hand, but I do have a Doom Dissenter, and hopefully I mean, I have so many spells in my deck that I'm bound to draw one to go with Salvager Secret. I think I have like 8 spells in my deck or something like that, so maybe not by turn 5, but hopefully early enough that I can get some good card advantage out of it. But yeah, it's too early to really speculate much more on the game. My opponent's playing black. It's also not much information. I guess black tends to be one of the more defensive colors. I think that the 2-drops are what? Child of Night and Doom Dissenter, and Walking Corpse, I guess. So nothing overly aggressive. It's mostly just like a couple of dorky creatures. So they're playing black-white, and they play a 2/1 flyer. So that could be trouble. So here, I think I just want to play Anticipate. It allows me to keep up Essence Scatter, which they might be willing to play around at this point in the game. And it also will help me dig to something like either the Thopter Maker or Skyscanner, which would both be really good cards in this situation. I do have to also recognize this card's ability, because I do have Salvager Secrets, which doesn't really it's fine, which can get disrupted by that card. Okay, I think I just want Meteor Golem here. I'm a ways away from casting it, but neither of these other cards are particularly good right now, and that one will do well. Well, I didn't draw, or I didn't get Skyscanner off of Anticipate, but I drew it, so yeah, that's pretty much as perfect as it can get. Getting a Disperse is nice too. Means I can start getting some shenanigans going. 2-headed zombie is fine. Okay, so now I have 4 mana, so these 3 are all off the table, so it looks like I'm playing a Doom Dissenter here. I could threaten the double block on the 2-headed zombie. They could also just make it unblockable, but yeah, I don't know if I'll do that. I probably will. It is such a valuable trade for me, but we'll see. They might not even attack. Militia Bugler. I'll probably just disperse this turn. Ooh, Ravenous Harpy. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep this. Oh my goodness, what is happening? This is never in my wildest imaginations did I expect this to happen. That is really excellent. I don't know why they did that. Alright, well, I have 5 mana, so I think I may as well just play this Salvager of Secrets here and grab Anticipate. Could also disperse this back to my hand at some point. Switcheroo would be a good draw. Card works really well with Salvager. Especially because I already have this Disperse in hand. Cool. Yeah, this is going well for me. They've got a Ravenous Heartbeat, that's okay. Murder, not too valuable at this point in the game. I'm just going to go ahead and play my Frilled Sea Serpent. Pass the turn back. I do need to worry about this bookcase and this Harpy at some point, and I also need to kill them at some point. So there are definitely some things that are interesting. Harpy is probably not too big of a deal because it's only getting in for 1 damage a turn, and if they add a couple of counters on it, then I can always disperse it back to hand to buy myself some more time. So but eventually, okay, Lich's Caress got rid of my Sea Serpent. That wasn't really my plan to win this game. Speaking of plans to win this game, I don't know why I would tap I don't know why I would tap the swamp here. Okay, Patient Rebuilding. I mean, we're far from out of the woods here, but definitely looking like one of those games where you just draw Patient Rebuilding and things go well for you from there. I have Anticipate to try and find a second swamp or another good thing to do. I can play my Meteor Golem if they play a big threat, or even if they don't, and I can just get rid of the bookcase. If they use bookcase to try and make this unblockable, I can just bounce it back to hand. There's a lot of good things going on here. I'm not really too worried about that attack here because I can just double block. It's a pretty good trade. I'm just trading a 2/2 for a 2/3. Even if they have a pump spell, I still get my 2/2 out of this. And I'm not too concerned about Harpy getting in for 1 point of damage. Yeah, this is looking good. Rise from the Grave on Frilled Sea Serpent. Okay, perfect. So I was gonna say I could disperse something, but yeah, that'll be great. A Johnny's Welcome. Huh. That's, I mean, I guess that's a card if you're really doing the things, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not too keen on this card in general. All right, so we drew the land for Murder. We're back up to 8 mana. I could play a 6 and then leave the 2s up. I could play Meteor Golem. I'll play the 6. Does a good job of double blocking the zombie. I drew another Disperse, I guess. I was like, wait, where did that Disperse come from? So I can always use that. And again, if they try and stack some cards up on this, then I can make sure that doesn't work out well for them. Not sure why. I guess, yeah, I don't know why they didn't use the bookcase, but maybe they'll have something post-combat? No? Okay, well, I'll anticipate. I will gladly take a cancel here. It really makes this game like much more likely for me to win. Okay, Wind Mage is a really good draw here. It means that I can block this. If they try and use the apparatus on it, I can always disperse something just to save it. Okay, Yeah. I will go ahead and do that. So I get to basically trade the Disperse for the apparatus, which is not like a great deal, but also get a good amount of tempo by sending their 4/2 back into their hand. I'm not going to cancel it on the way back down, but I think the camera color changed from green to yellow, but maybe it's always been yellow and now I'm just confused. So that's what's going on in my life. How are you? Okay, so if they attack with the Harpy, I don't really have a good block because they can just sacrifice one of their creatures, but it doesn't look like they're going to go on the offensive right here. Okay, milled some more cards. Fel Spectre can take their last card. Also block Harpy, do a decent job at that. I've got 9 mana, so I can go Fel Spectre and then pass. I think I like that. I can save Salvager to get back my murder or cancel. This game is pretty much locked up at this point. I'm still at a very healthy life total. My opponent doesn't have a ridiculous amount of things going on, and they're just going to get milled out. Like, even this bookcase is not that big of a deal. I can just, like, murder all of their actual creatures, which is pretty funny. Okay. I think I should murder... No, I think I should just murder the bookcase. Should just take the damage, and then on their end step, murder the bookcase. Just to make sure that I don't just get killed by that or anything. Then I can salvage it back. What's going on here? Oh, yeah, of course. I can just put the counter on the Harpy. Alright, some more milling. Bone to Ash. Let's get Salvager going. Get back this murder. And I'll pass the turn. Bone to Ash is just another thing that I can counter. I have Meteor Golem, I have Murder. I have this game locked up. I have enough chump blockers for the Harpy. I could chump block it every turn for the rest of the game. Okay, I'll just play a land in the Aviation Pioneer and pass the turn back. I mean, I could attack, I guess, but may as well see their entire deck. Infectious Horror. That is not a card that you want in your deck. Rise from the Grave is unfortunately going to mean that they'll be able to play whatever they want. I didn't need to counter that or anything like that. I mean, the game's over. Okay. And they will literally lose on the next turn. Not this upcoming turn, but the turn after. So they've got Diregraph Ghoul. They've got a Plague Mare. That's something that I should think about and worry about. But yeah, they're going to need to win through 2 counters. Let's get the... take a screenshot of their deck and their board. Okay, cool. Begin sideboarding. All right, so what do we got on their end? I actually have 2 Rise from the Graves, which I'm happy to save my Disperses for. Let's see, what else? Anything that my Nightmare Thirsts are going to kill? Not really. Just a couple of 2s. Let's see. Maybe Childonite is better in this matchup. Maybe I want Totally Lost. Let's see, is there anything that's not particularly good on my end? I mean, Reassembling Skeleton doesn't really do too much. They don't really have like big creatures that they attack with. So maybe I just take out the Reassembling Skeleton and play something like Totally Lost, just to buy myself some more time. Or maybe I bring in the Explosive Apparatus to kill their X2s. I still... Ooh, they have a Resplendent Angel. That thing is really good, and I will need to kill that on sight. So that's something that I need to save my murders for. Okay, that could be trouble. Yeah, I don't think that there's no X1s. There's not really any X2s that I'm so worried about. They have 2-headed zombies, but alright. Yeah, I think I'm just going to submit. So the cards that I'm pretty worried about are Regal Bloodlords and the Resplendent Angel, and then those Rise from the Graves, which can get those back. Okay, this hand's pretty good. I didn't see like a Pride Mate from them, so I'm not like worried about dying on turn or pretty early. That Bookcase, which is relevant. Diregraph Ghoul can be an aggressive clock. So yeah, there's a good chance that I just use this Disperse to bounce whatever they play next turn, or on turn 3 rather. Johnny's welcome. Not too big of a deal. Another creature though is definitely some pressure. I'll need to stabilize this board pretty quickly because Vampire Neonate is certainly something that can end this game. Yeah, I mean, if they don't play anything, then I'll be happy to just anticipate and try and... what's going on? Okay. There's no card for my mana that would make them not want to attack. There's no card in the format, so... Yeah, I'll probably just anticipate here. But if they play like a creature, then I would disperse. There's a good chance that I would disperse it just to save the life. Ugh. Doom Dissenter? Alright. I mean, it'll be something that I can use just to trade. Just to trade with the Diregraph Ghoul. So it's not great, but it is also not the worst. Have I attacked in this draft yet? That's an interesting thing to go back and look at. Straight up have no idea. So at this point I'm just going to chump, save the 2 damage. I know that I can use Skyscanner in combination with Doom Dissenter to actually trade and then like get some more value out of it, but I'm worried about dying. I'm not really worried as much about value. Okay, so I could Exclusion Mage, but I think I'd rather just Skyscanner here and get through my deck, try and get to that Patient Rebuilding, because that's how I'm going to win this matchup. I mean, my opponent's going to gain so much life that what really is my secondary plan of just hitting them for chipping in the air with some flyers is probably not, this probably isn't the right matchup for that. Okay, there's Bugler. I don't really, how many hits do they actually have for this thing? Not too many. They've got some, but a couple of them are actually already on the battlefield. Okay. Alright, I mean, I was going to play Exclusion Mage, but I think I'd rather hold up Cancel here. I can always play it next turn. And I also have Disperse up this way. It's not like I'm really planning on dispersing anything, but yeah, this isn't too bad. Okay, they're gonna make some attacks here. I'm gonna just double block the Bugler. Yeah, not really much to say about it. It's pretty clear play on their part. All right, well, unfortunately they didn't have anything for me. That's a really good draw. I'm gonna hold on to that one for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce the Neonate here. I would cancel it on the way back down. I think that this is a card that I have to get rid of before the game ends because I'm just not gonna kill them by then. I guess I should attack with Skyscanner. But yeah, happy to draw Switcheroo. Especially with Disperse. I mean, I can Switcheroo them my Skyscanner, disperse it back to my hand, replay it, draw a card. Okay, I'll cancel. It's not like my ideal thing to cancel from them, but I'm okay with it. Oh, alright. They get a Remorseful Cleric out of the deal. At this point, I think I'm just going to drop the big Serpent and start pressuring them with that. I guess I could have attacked with this. Probably would have been a good idea. So they drew their 4th land, which means that they can play Infectious Horror or Gallant Cavalry. There's Gallant Cavalry. Gain a couple life off that. They don't really have any good attacks. I would gladly trade Skyscanner for their Cleric. And Dwindle is not really what I'm looking for here. I'm trying to decide if I want to play this land out. I think I do. I could hold it for Sift, but there's a good chance that if I draw Sift that I'll draw an extra land off of Sift that I can just get rid of, and then this way I can actually use all my mana if I need to. So, fortunately my opponent's just got like an army of little dorks and not anything that... Alright, that's fine. I can just disperse my Skyscanner when they go to kill it, and then at least I can get a card's worth of value out of it, and then I can replay it the next turn to trade for the Cleric. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to be doing any big attacks here. I mean, obviously they'll attack with the 2-1. I mean, I think they'll attack with the 2-1. I'm not really sure. You never know. I wish I had a Skeleton Archer in this deck. I think that it would be pretty good here. I'm glad to draw the Pioneer and the Neonate, really. Because now I am much more set up to block whatever they've got, and the Neonate can start gaining me back some life here. Okay guys, is this gonna work out for us? Infectious Horror. I still need to win this game, by the way, and I've drawn a lot of cards, so like there's some chance that I don't mill them out, because they also have a lot of lands left in their deck. If Patient Rebuilding is at the bottom of my deck, then there's a chance that I can't win this game. Okay. I mean, their attacks are not terrible. Like, I can eat one of their things, but after that I can't eat anything. And I can't like Resplendent Angel is fine, but I can't use it to just win me the game because I don't have white mana. Okay, use this ability. Gain that life. Sift. There we go. Okay, I like Salvager of Secrets here. I like Fel Spectre. Cool. Okay, so I think I'm gonna hold both. I think I'm gonna hold Salvager of Secrets for Switcheroo purposes, but I will go ahead. Do I want to play Fel Spectre this turn? Probably not. I probably just want to. Maybe I do want to. Maybe I do want to play the Fel Spectre. I was thinking of not doing it so that I can activate Neonate, but I think it's just worth getting rid of one of their cards and putting more stuff on the board just in case they actually do have something good here. Like Angel of the Dawn would be very scary. I didn't see one in the first game, and I saw almost all their cards. I didn't see an Inspired Charge either. I was about to say Lich's Caress could also be something that like really opens them up to making a bigger attack, so playing Fel Spectre just gives me some more power and toughness on the battlefield. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers to my 6 blockers, and I also have to double block the two-headed zombie, but they're not going to send that guy in. So, and well, I don't know. We'll see what these blocks are. Okay, so obviously I can just throw Neonate in front of that. I can trade here. I can go for a double block on something else. I don't want to just like, well, I guess I have Fel Spectre to wall this off, so I can go like double block here and double block here. This has me taking 5 damage, going down to 3, and then leaves them with a Diregraph Ghoul, a Gallant Cavalry, Skeleton Archer, and a Remorseful Cleric next turn. I don't love that. And I have a Fel Spectre as well. I have Fel Spectre and Neonate. I think that that's going to be my best block, though. Oh, no, both those are going to die. What if I throw Fel Spectre in front of here? Then I have the Aviation Pioneer, but I lose both those guys, so that's not as good. Okay. I could also just double block this thing. No, I can't. Yeah, this is a lot of damage. I definitely have to get concerned. Okay, Wall of Mist is good. I have 5/9 mana here. So I can play Wall of Mist and Salvager. So that's 5/7, and then I won't be able to play Cancel, but I will be able to activate my Neonate. So I may just do that. Now I think I'm pretty stable at this point. I could get Sift back, but I think I just want to cancel here. Alright, so I have this board completely stabilized. I can trade here, I can block there, I can eat that, and I can block there. And next turn I'll be untapping with cancel, but I'm at a very low life total. I have a couple of answers in hand, which is good, but definitely still precariously positioned in this game. And if they have one good threat here. Okay, Murder. Not great for me, but I can still survive. And I can Dwindle this next turn. A full-out attack doesn't really do much for them. Okay. I want to trade with the Diregraph Ghoul because if they have Rise from the Grave, then I don't really want them to get back Gallant Cavalry at this point in the game, which sounds kind of silly, but is true. Okay, very important to use Neonate here. Totally Lost. Do I want to use Totally Lost, or would I rather use Dwindle? I think probably... Dwindle. Wow, what a game. I'm really just struggling to live. And like I mean I have good control over the game. Not perfect control, obviously. Let's call it decent. Let's call it decent control over this game. And I might just not have a way to win though, because like they've got at least 9 more lands in their deck, which means 9 more draws for me off of Patient Rebuilding. So like if I don't draw that card very quickly, then I'm going to lose the game. I do have Meteor Golem left. I don't see myself being able to kill them from 29 though. I know that they can still use this Remorseful Cleric to get rid of my graveyard. I don't think that they want to do that because they don't want to get rid of my Frilled Sea Serpent. They want that to be something that they can pick up off of... Oh, actually... Totally Lost plus Salvager of Secrets is a way to survive. I guess that only buys me 1 more draw step, but okay, so they're going with Rise from the Grave to get back Exclusion Mage. So okay, they do that. They bounce my Vampire Neonate. I still block. I think I just have to cancel this. It's unfortunate. It's possible that I shouldn't, but I think that my best bet for winning this game is to not let that happen. I don't want to lose more life. I don't want to totally lost either of those creatures. Because either way, it gets them more progress in the right direction. Bone to Ash is a good draw. Although, I need to hit that Patient Rebuilding. I'm already 8 cards behind them. I'm not even sure that I can still win. Okay, there's Salvager. So I can salvage back my cancel. I mean, technically I shouldn't be able to salvage anything back because they should just use the Cleric. Okay, so they are going to use the Cleric. Okay, that's fine. I could have waited until I could totally lost something, but I don't think I really want to do that, to be honest. Like, I need to mill them out somehow. Okay, I'll Bone to Ash that. Okay. Some more lands. Ugh, this is getting scary, guys. I don't know what to do. I think I'm gonna lose this game. Ugh. Yeah, I might have to think more about this totally lost Salvager secrets thing. Plague Mare. Okay. I will have to just do the math at some point and see, like, is there any way that I can actually survive this game? I think I just take the 2. As opposed to jumping. There it is. Okay. Okay, what do I do? So I'm going to need to Switcheroo my Salvager with one of their things at some point, and then totally lost my Salvager back. But let's see, they've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. They've got like 6 or 7 more lands in their deck. All right, I guess I'll take that. Using Salvager, or using Switcheroo. Oh, I'm happy they didn't attack there. Alright, there's a murder, and there's even Wind Mage, but I really don't think that I can kill them here. Maybe I can, though. See, I've still got 8 mana. Okay, so they've got 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lands, so they might have 5 lands left. Ugh. Okay. So I'm gonna totally lost this back to the top of my library. Buy myself another turn. No more lands. I can't take any more lands, guys. Okay. Okay, Salvager totally lost. I think with Salvager totally lost, I should be able to make this work. Can I just kill them, though? I don't think so. I think that that's not a good plan for me. They also... Oh, no, they don't have another Dwarven Priest. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that there's any way that I actually kill them. I would have to, like, Meteor Golem my own Patient Rebuilding. I think it's more likely for me to win. Well, I could Meteor Golem my own Patient Rebuilding if I ever get ahead. This is the best, guys. What kind of Magic are we playing here? What if I lose? Okay, so I'm still behind. Maybe I should have been attacking them. I think it's too late now. We only got like 2 more turns, basically. Yeah, there's only 2 more turns in this game. I think... I'm not going to say anything because I'm not sure. But I think that I should be okay. I should be okay. Alrighty. Sure. Even if they have like inspired charge, doesn't really matter. Okay, and I can, as long as these 3 cards aren't lands, I think I'm okay. Okay, so now I have more cards than them. As long as I Meteor Golem, Patient Rebuilding. Well, no, it doesn't matter. I don't need a Meteor Golem, Patient Rebuilding. They only have 1 card left in their library, so they can't make me draw out. They could always disperse it too. Oh man, what a messed up game of Magic. I really think that I would have, yeah, I definitely would have lost if I hadn't done that, because I did that like 3 or 4 times, I think. And if I had, and I only had 2 cards left in my library at the end, and they could have survived 1 more turn. So yeah, I definitely would have lost that game if I hadn't thought of that. That was cool. That was a fun one. I hope you guys managed to enjoy the video. I hope you enjoyed the face cam. Maybe that'll be a regular occurrence. Maybe I'll get too scared and self-conscious and we'll never do it again. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a wonderful day. Bye.